Nuclear weapons are among the most terrifying yet influential inventions of humankind. From the first test in the New Mexico desert to today's political crises, these weapons have changed the world. In this video, we'll explore not only their history and development but also the impact of key figures, analyses of the future, and dramatic moments in nuclear history. Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, the mind that shook the world. Today's story is about a man who, through his knowledge and scientific obsession, opened a gateway to a world that had previously existed only in theory. This is the story of Robert Oppenheimer, the scientist who brought the world to the brink of destruction, and then became one of its greatest opponents. A project called Manhattan. In the midst of World War II, the United States discovered that Nazi Germany was working on a super-destructive weapon, the atomic bomb. The US government decided to enlist its greatest scientific minds to beat Germany to the punch. Thus began a top-secret mission, the Manhattan Project. Oppenheimer, known for his deep knowledge of theoretical physics, was chosen as the scientific director of the project. In New Mexico, a completely secret city was built, Los Alamos, a place where Oppenheimer gathered the best physicists in the world. The goal? To build a bomb that would unleash unimaginable destruction by splitting the atom. Oppenheimer believed, we must unlock this secret before our enemies do. But we know we're playing with forces that might spiral out of control. On July 16, 1945, the first atomic bomb test, called Trinity, was conducted. The result? Successful and terrifying. At the moment of the explosion, Oppenheimer whispered a famous line.
"Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
After the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Oppenheimer lost the excitement he once had. He told President Truman that he had blood on his hands. Oppenheimer said, "We built a weapon that threatens humanity, and I can no longer defend it." In the years that followed, he became one of the loudest voices calling for nuclear disarmament. But the US government cast him aside, even revoking his security clearance. Science can be humanity's greatest service or its greatest threat. It all depends on who wields it. Will we learn from the mistakes of the past? Or are we still standing with a match next to a barrel of gunpowder? Albert Einstein? Yes, he played a role too. Albert Einstein, one of the greatest geniuses in human history, had an extraordinary impact on science and technology. But perhaps his most significant contribution to the 20th century was, indirectly, related to nuclear weapons and the atomic bomb. But what most strongly connected Einstein to the atomic bomb project was a letter he wrote in 1939 to then US President Franklin D. Roosevelt. This letter, co-written with the renowned physicist Leo Szilard, warned that Nazi Germany might be working on developing an atomic bomb. In the letter, Einstein urged Roosevelt to launch a research and development program on nuclear weapons so that the United States wouldn't fall behind its Nazi rivals. This letter is considered one of the key triggers that led to the launch of the Manhattan Project, which ultimately produced the atomic bomb. In addition, during the 1950s, Einstein wrote another letter to the US president, calling for the cancellation of nuclear weapons testing programs and the promotion of peaceful diplomacy. In 1962, the Soviet Union deployed nuclear missiles in Cuba. The United States, led by John F. Kennedy, threatened war if the missiles were not removed. This crisis brought the world to the edge of nuclear war. It lasted 13 days, during which the world stood on the verge of all-out war. Eventually, diplomatic negotiations led to an agreement. The Soviets would withdraw their missiles from Cuba, and the US would remove its missile bases from Turkey. Is a world without nuclear weapons possible? Despite arms control treaties, countries like the United States, Russia, China, and even North Korea still maintain large nuclear arsenals. But would a world without nuclear weapons actually be safer? Some believe these weapons create a fragile balance that prevents large-scale wars. On the other hand, some analysts argue that the mere existence of these weapons poses a constant threat to humanity and could lead to an unexpected war at any moment. In the end, only time will tell whether nuclear weapons will preserve peace or ignite our destruction.